Once again, welcome to the Spencer Colgan Show. And on my channel, I like to entertain my customers and fans. Also, I like to show them the tricks of the trade in whatever thing that I'm doing in the video, whether it's hanging wallpaper, removing wallpaper, painting, because since I'm about 13 years old, all of the people who knew how to do things always took the time to show me, and so I share it with you. Also, I like to make you laugh, as you know, and some of you have been interacting with me in the comment section of the videos, and I really appreciate it. So, on one of my videos recently, I told you about a fellow I hired up in New York to help me finish sheetrock, and he was on the scaffold plastering away, and I looked at him and I said, I just want to tell you as an aside, I really like to reward people with a compliment when they do a good job. It's just the way I am. I really think it goes a long way, but I'm very naive because almost every single time I do it, it works against me. And as it did in this case. So I had a guy on the scaffold and he was taping away and I said, you really do nice work. Now, up until that point, he had been working really diligently, fast, two hands. And then after I gave him the compliment and I went in the other room to do my part of the job, I came outside and I watched him again. This was about 10 minutes later. And this is what he looked like, with the cell phone in one hand, going like this with the plaster knife in the other. I said, mira, ¿qué pasa contigo? He said, oh, I'm working. I said, ¿estás diferente? ¿Qué pasó? Oh. So, needless to say, we finished his day early. And I'm very careful about giving out compliments. Now, the average worker will take a compliment and at least not in front of you, he'll continue to work. He won't pull that. So anyway, he went from two hands to one hand and he was on the phone talking to whomever, saying, estoy chirroqueando, sí. And I said, listen, you got to work the way you were working before I said you were doing a good job. He goes, oh, okay. Anyway, so needless to say, we had to let him go. Now, I want to show you oh, by the way, I've only had 13 responses for my Mitsubishi Galant giveaway, and I'm going to just have to give it away to the person who sent me the most emails. Now, this is a 2018 Mitsubishi Galant. If you don't want the vehicle, I understand. If you want it, you have to leave a comment in the comment section that says Mitsubishi Galant 2018. Just like that, no commas, dots, nothing else. And then we're going to give that car away at the end of the 4th of July at midnight. And then we have that bridge, which you can drive on, that we're also going to sell you for $1. Now, what I want to do here is show you how you too can get these. Okay? And that's only going to take you about 3 weeks. And these. Just kidding. I want to show you what's in a wallpaper installer's tool belt, okay? Very simple tools. For those of you who are installing wallpaper, I'll tell you what, I've been doing this a long time and I know the trend. You'll be on the ladder, it'll be late, and you'll need a tool. And you know what you're going to do? You're going to cheat. You're not going to have the knife that you need because it fell. That's why you need 2 of everything, just about. Your knife fell, and you're going to try to cut something, and you're not going to be close enough to it, and you know what you're going to do? You're going to rip it. So we want to avoid that. Now, I happen to get a hyper tough tool bag. I think I picked this up from Harbor Freight for about 15 bucks. If you look on this thing, watch this. There's a pouch here. Watch this. Okay? It's magnetic. These are the things that can cause the most danger to you physically. So I like to keep them where I can see them. If you should put them in your pouch and put your hands in there, and this thing is open, you're done for the day, maybe for the week. You know what I'm saying. So I like to keep the straight edges because when you do double cuts, especially on something like fabric back vinyl, the thinner the blade that you put through the material, the better. This is the thinnest blade you're going to get, a single edge. And so you need to protect yourself by pulling the sleeve over, pulling the shaft over, and I just like to leave it outside, always in sight, never out of sight. Now, these scissors are very good. Now, I'm not a scissor person. When I was taught how to hang wallpaper, I wasn't taught with scissors, okay? But I will say this, when I'm up at the corner of a vertical strip of wallpaper, and I need to cut either the vertical or the horizontal, that's what I'll use this for. And so if I have a sheet of wallpaper right at the corner of where the wall meets the ceiling, and it's just hanging over, here's what I'll do. I'll go like this. Just maybe an inch or two. That's all I'm going to use these for. But other people will put their wallpaper on a table. That's not me. I like to take my Olfa knife, square the wallpaper against. It's whatever you got used to. I go straight down. I put the wallpaper right against the edge of the table, and I slice it, and it's perfectly straight. Yes, you dull the blade, but you know what? It's worth it, in my opinion. KMS Wallpaper liked your video. Thank you. Appreciate it. Now, so I use scissors, and I want to keep them in. The organization of the tool pouch is essential to a successful and efficient wallpaper installation. There's a lot of things, and you'll see a lot of things because why? Things fall when you're on the ladder. Look at how many smoothers I have. 1, 2, 3. You understand? Yesterday I installed from a scaffold very high up in the air a Michelangelo Sistine Chapel ceiling mural to which I've made reference on some of my videos. I made at least 2 videos on that, and you can see that. If you YouTube Sistine Chapel Michelangelo mural, you'll see me in the video doing the installation. And even in the video, I was dropping these things. They just fall out of your hand. And so you need to be able to save time by not getting off the ladder, going to get them. You understand. But they're not going into the cutting section of my tool pouch. No. These are going into what I call the bulk area, okay? I'm going to tell you why. You don't want to mix up where these things go when you're cutting wallpaper. What we tend to do, we paper hangers, we're looking at the paper. When we grab something, we never look down. And the last thing you want is one of these things sticking up. You forgot to close the shaft. You got a call or something like that. And boom, you stick your hand right through this thing. It literally will go right through your hand. These things, we paper hangers, we like the professional blades. We're using something that's so super thin that cuts through paper so that our seams, you don't see them. And the way you do that is to use a very thin blade, okay? And so you want the blades that lock and that hide under the shaft. And so I keep these in only the cutting section. My tool pouch has 2 sections. This main one here, and then this little one here. Outside of which is a magnetic clip where I can attach the most sharp blades that I own. Now, let's put everything back together. Why do I have tape in me, in my pouch? When I'm doing a vertical installation, and I'm putting the wallpaper on the wall, what happens is the top flaps over, and the weight of it and the glue, especially if you're dealing with a 20-ounce or more wall covering, it's type 2 wall covering, it comes right down, and then it starts running down like an avalanche.